Oh, we haven't slapped a number.
I thought we. Oh, yeah, that's right. I guess we need to. I guess this is the Xmas edition, right?
Is Christmas?
Yeah,
This Slapper Day is Christmas Eve this year. So
Yeah.
Sing us a song.
So let's slap a number on.
This is 306, right? Is it 306? I think it's 306.
You need to sing The Night Before Christmas.
And so this is Christmas. I don't think.
This is going to be the best episode.
Already, let's let it fly.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2024 Christmas show with Blaggards. We are in collaboration with the Whip Radio, Backland Radio. Right? We are at Christmas, for Christmas, with you on Christmas, and we're going to wish you all a very, very happy Christmas. We're delighted to do this. This is our second year in a row doing this. If you're watching on TV, that's what we said, second, counting. Yeah. And we're delighted to do this. Auntie Laurie asked us to do this again against her better judgment. And so here we're going to let it fly. Last year it was just Chad and I. This year we have Turbo. Because last year Turbo had a little ankle monitor that would go out off every time he'd leave his zip code. And now he's free to. So welcome.
Yeah. Free, man.
Yeah. Free man.
I'm off the chain.
Yeah. Off the chain. I think that's what the kids say.
They do.
So anyway, let's get rolling right into it. Who wants to go first? So what we're going to do is we're going to pick our favorite Christmas songs, if there was such thing. I have to say, of all the holiday music, I think Christmas is my least favorite. You know, it's hard to find some. I managed to find 11 favorite Christmas songs.
Wow. Okay.
But we're going to go through one by one. Who wants to go first?
All right. I'm going to go with this one since the season is upon us. And it's your favorite thing. It's from Dropkick Murphys. The season is upon us. Oh. I like that song. Don't give me that look. Oh. Don't give me that look, man. It's a great song.
Listen, I'm sure they're nice people.
It's early in the month, and it's perfect song for that. Everything gets slammed right off the gate. It's like right after Halloween, bam, all the Christmas stuff comes in. And that's why I picked this song.
Dropkick Murphys. So what do you like about it?
I like his voice in the song. It's kind of a mix between some of their harder stuff and softer stuff. It's a little more on the softer side, and it's a little different. Yeah. It's like a little different flavor for them. That's why I like it, and it's kind of the intro to the Christmas music. So it popped up in my playlist. I was like, oh, I'm picking that.
Okay.
So
okay.
That's why.
Chad, give me a Christmas song that you like.
A couple of my picks. A lot of these I'm probably going to pick every year just because I think they should become Christmas songs. And I think you were actually the person who told me first that you thought that this sounded like a Christmas song. And it's the Traveling Wilburys, Heading for the Light.
I knew you were going to say that, yeah.
And it really is, I think George Harrison is singing about God in the song, like a lot of his songs. But it really is, it's a Traveling Wilburys song. It's on the first Wilburys record, but it's essentially a George Harrison song with a bridge that's sung by Jeff Lynne.
Of ELO.
Yeah, of ELO, who also produced the Wilburys stuff.
Kids are going to do all right, yeah.
And gosh, it's just such an uplifting song. It's just one of those songs that when I put on, I want to kind of kick, to kind of get moving. And it just always makes me feel like $1 million whenever I hear that song. And that's what Christmas should be about, I think.
That's Heading for the Light. I have to say too. So we have a Christmas song. I'm not going to pick this as a favorite, but I'm going to say Heading for the Light, which I had said years ago that it sounds like, especially the chorus, sounds like a Christmas song. Yeah. And actually, so we have a Christmas song, and it's called Every Day is Christmas Since You're Gone. Can't play the other one because it's a little bit naughty. And I'm so tired of being on the naughty list. So our song is called Every Day is Christmas Since You're Gone. And actually, the chorus of that song is kind of a nod to Heading for the Light.
Yeah.
So when I heard that, I was like, oh my, that's Christmas all over. And I had kind of stolen, let's just say borrowed it, because I don't want George coming back as a hairbrush and taking his revenge on me. So I'm going to pick just to counteract the Traveling Wilburys and that uplifting song. I'm going to go with King Diamond, No Presents for Christmas. I just, you got to go dark. Again, I'm not a huge King Diamond fan, but I just think it's hysterical. It doesn't even sound like a Christmas song, and I don't think it's supposed to. But it's just one of those. it's kind of, you should kind of check it out if you're even curious. But it is something that your neighbors would definitely throw rocks at your house if they heard you blasting that song. So Turbo, back to you. Turbo on drums.
I'm gonna go
what
this
you got?
one. I'm gonna go Cheap Trick, Christmas.
Oh.
And the reason why I picked them is listening to it. It sounds just like them, right? It's their style, and I thought, man, I think you could almost turn half their catalog into Christmas songs like that fit that. Like do they have a Christmas record, or is it just songs? I was kind of playing around. I go, man, I don't even know if I know this. Almost sounded foolish saying this, but they should have a Christmas record. You know, like if they didn't do that, man, that's got to be somewhere in their archives. They've got to have a half dozen songs that they tried and wanted to do. Like they should. I feel like they've got the demos out there they should release. But that's why I picked it. I like that band a lot, and that's
cool.
Yeah.
Chad, give me another one.
This is another one that happens every year because it is my favorite Christmas song in the whole world, and it's actually the Christmas song that Mel Torme wrote for Nat King Cole to sing. You know, chestnuts roasting on an open fire. I always associate that was the right. It was Nat King Cole's Christmas record. Is the album I always associate with Christmas because I always had to put that on whenever Christmas starts. I have to hear that record, and that song is just, to me, it doesn't get any better than that. And that the version that Nat King Cole, I think, recorded it a couple of times, but the version I like is the one that's on his record of the same name, and it's just this most, you know, just classically syrupy, you know, early '60s or maybe it's late '50s arrangement with, you know, strings and, you know, just, and it's his jazz band, is his jazz trio band that's the meat of the band on that record. So that's one of the reasons it makes it so great. But and the Nat King Cole's voice, I mean, come on. The guy was just like butter. His voice was so gorgeous. And yeah, and I just love the story too that Mel Torme, of all people, Mel Torme wrote that song for him specifically to sing, as far as I understand it. So yeah, I just love it. I think it just doesn't get any better than that as far as Christmas songs go, and I never get sick of it either, which is.
So Chad goes right to his number one. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. It's in no order. You're right. Yeah, that's cool. I have to say I love his voice too. I'm going to go with the next one. I'm going to go. It wasn't really a band, but it was some of the Sex Pistols and some of Thin Lizzy, which I'm curious. Is there an artist that you like that would just do anything? You know, that would just appear on any record, any genre, and just appear somewhere, and you just have to get it because it's them. You know what I mean? So Phil Lynott of Thin Lizzy and the Sex Pistols, you know, they did and the song isn't great. I just love to hear Phil. I just love to hear his voice. You know, that's the kind of Dublin accent like that, you know, and Phil, and he had that rasp in his voice, you know, and he was, but it's you know, the merry jingle, and they're the band, like I said, it was thrown together, and it's called the Greedies, and it was very, very, very silly and very very Christmas. To me, that's the Christmas spirit. No rules, no much like this, you know. No, just dive in, just give it a lash.
I don't know if I've ever actually heard that. I know I've heard about it. Yeah,
but you would think immediately that it's Thin Lizzy in a studio messing around, just having a laugh, you know, and they record, and it sounds to me like it's a one take, but again, you can tell immediately who it is. There's no question, and there's also no joke. You know, you don't think for a second maybe they were trying to get. No, this is much like we were doing today in our rehearsal, just throwing down. So that's another one.
Those are always the best ones.
Do what?
Those are always the best ones where they just let it rip.
Yeah.
I'm going to do We Wish You a Merry Christmas by Weezer. And so...
Haven't heard that.
You haven't heard that song?
Nope.
Oh, man, the guitar. I love the guitar tone of this song. Oh, man, you would love it. And it drives. It's definitely... you know, that grungy rock style of the song. So, you know, if you're not into that style, you're probably not going to like it, but it's definitely that style of the song. And they take that classic song and just turn it over. And I think it's fun and drives. And I'm like, man, I would listen to it like working out. I think that song is just awesome. So, and the guitar tone, man, you gotta check it out. I think you would love it.
Oh, yeah, I like it already.
Yeah.
Chad, give me another one.
I got another non-Christmas song. This is one I actually learned about from you. So I think we toyed around with actually covering this. It's a cover. It would have been a cover of a cover. Joey Ramone's version of "What a Wonderful World."
Yes.
Which
that is
might as well be a Christmas song. I think he even put bells in it.
I was hoping I was going to be able to disagree with you. Damn it!
Aren't there bells in that song? I think I'm going to say that there is. Dang, dang. Anyway, it just, I mean, the classic version of that. I don't know who did it first. I always think of Louis Armstrong whenever I think of that song. But Joey Ramone's version is just so ebullient. Ebullient, is that the word? And it's very much in the Ramones style. I mean, he didn't do it with the Ramones. It's his solo record. But it might as well have been a Ramones song. And it's just great. He just nails it. It just almost sounds like it was written for him to sing the way it's done. And I don't know who plays guitar on that. That riff. This is great.
We need to look that up again. That was back in the early. That was back when we were talking about doing that.
I mean, I really think
because I had picked a Ramones song. I had picked "Merry Christmas, I Don't Want to Fight."
Right.
Yeah, I'd picked that one again. But
I think that's it's probably my second favorite version of the song. I mean, a lot of people cover that, but Louis Armstrong to me is the best version I've ever heard. But Joey's is right up there. It's just so cool.
Yeah, I would take Joey's over it only because I'd heard it so many times,
sure.
And a little tired.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go with a serious one now. I'm going to go with a more guitar player, slide guitar player extraordinaire. Not as popular over here as he was in Europe, but his name is Chris Rea. And the old joke back in school, when I was in school, which most of you weren't born yet. The joke was that Mark Knopfler had called him and asked him to play guitar in Dire Straits, and they were going to call it Diarrhea because it was Chris Rea, and that was the joke in school. We were hilarious. And anyway, Chris Rea has a song called "Driving Home for Christmas," and it's rare. It's rare to have this song. There's driving songs, and then there's songs that actually place you at a particular time or in a situation where you can close your eyes and be there. This is one of those songs. I don't know how he captured the "Driving Home for Christmas," but it sounds like a driving song, and it sounds like it's Christmas season. It's very, very mellow. It's not what I used to. I have it on my CD player in my house right now, but it's not naff. It's not cookie cutter. It's not a predictable tune. However, it's got that Christmas feel to it. So it was one of those ones that was like, I can pick that easy. So back to you.
So I'm going to tee off what you said for mellow. So I put a Chuck Berry song, "Run Rudolph Run."
Good one.
This is, before my time. And so, but I was like, when I went back and listened to it, I was like, I'm going to find something that I don't really have or listen to. And when I was listening to it, I was like, man, there's no Pro Tools. There's no computers. I mean, if you listen to the song and the supporting band and everything that they play, you're like, these guys are so good. Like, they're just such talented people. Like, if you just had 10%, if I had 10% of that talent, I would just be stoked. Like, It's just amazing what they do. And it's a good song. It's mellow and, kind of tees off a classic song, but that's why I picked it. I just thought of the good talent of the group. So
yeah. So you're talking about Chuck Berry, not Buck Cherry.
Yeah. No,
okay.
Not Buck Cherry.
All right. Just checking.
Yeah.
Just checking. Chad, back to you in the studio. What you got?
How do you come up with this stuff, dude?
It's life.
How do you do that?
This is studio. We're in the studio.
I want to sit closer to you. I'm too far away. The ones listening, they don't know that I can't touch you right now.
Woohoo! We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
And I will leave the room. Harry Nilsson has a song called "Remember Christmas." Are you familiar with it?
I don't know that one.
He actually doesn't even say the word Christmas in the song. That's the title of the song.
Because he's like you. He hates Christmas. He hates joy to the world.
But it does. Although the most Christmassy thing about it, it's a very sentimental, just kind of cloying song, but in a good way. It's one of his best songs. It's often played. They've used it in movies and stuff. But the most Christmassy thing that happens in the song itself is you hear sleigh bells at one point. So it just has this sense of. I guess that's why they put the word Christmas in the title. But I think it's just absolutely beautiful. And anytime I can fit Harry Nilsson onto a playlist, that's where he's going, because he was amazing. I've said several times on our podcast, SlapperCast, by the way, that
is that a weekly talk show with Blaggards? It is a
weekly talk show with Blaggards.
Where can we find that?
Weird. You can find it on any podcast app. If you just go and search Blaggards or search for SlapperCast.
Is there a the? Is it the Black or is it just Blaggards?
There is no the.
It's just Blaggards?
Yeah.
That's easy. So is it blaggards.com? Can you find it there?
Yes.
That's weird.
Yeah, you just look.
That's our name.
Yeah. Yeah. It's in the menu on the website.
Wow. Okay. Moving right along.
Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Harry Nilsson, man. Oh, I said. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Is that I've said many times on the show that if I could steal anybody's singing voice and have anybody's range, it would be a very close tie between Harry and Roy Orbison. But I think I'd go for Harry because he had a very dynamic range, an incredible, like 3-octave range. I think, absolutely gorgeous voice. So.
Yeah.
When in his prime.
Yeah.
He had a little trouble later.
That's very cool. Did I wonder, did Van Halen ever do a Christmas song? They should have. Anyway, because that's not my next pick. Oh. My next pick is going to be, I'm going to go with, this it would be my number one forever, for always, and it'll be so difficult to knock this song off the highest, pole position in my head. Anyway, this was ginormous in Europe. And when Blaggards have covered this song before, if we played that song in Europe, it's just lights out. It's so big. But over here, it's just not as well known. But one of the most prolific hit writers of all time was Noddy Holder and Slade, and they wrote a song called "Merry Christmas, Everybody," "Merry Xmas, Everybody," and that song to me says Christmas. That song was, man, as soon as you heard that come on the radio, that's it. We're in. It's happening. So as a kid, it was always great to hear. And his voice is so it's unmistakable. It's high. It's just tremendous. And it's the ultimate Christmas song. And I found out in recent years that he had this old psychedelic number. The music for Everyday marker. For a Merry Christmas, Everybody. The music for that was an old psychedelic number that he had written years before, and the guitar player called him and said, "Hey, what about that song?" And anyway, so they redid it as Merry Christmas, Everybody, and that song is an anthem. It's just humongous in Europe, and it's well worth checking out. It's a great number. It's a great track.
All right, I kind of had to dig one here just because I was like, oh, man, I need Boss to think I'm cool. So I did this for you. This is AC/DC. Is this the one we had the crossover?
That was a crossover.
Oh, man, maybe that's why I saw it. Yeah. So that's my fault. But I think the title's amazing, Mistress for Christmas. I wish I was that cool.
That was the only reason why I put it on there. Because to me, AC/DC, if they sang Amazing Grace.
Yeah.
Or if they sang Mariah Carey's, or if they sang Bryan Adams, whoever they sang, it's going to sound like AC/DC. You're never getting away from that.
Yeah.
Like, it was hilarious. Motorhead covered David Bowie's Heroes. And it didn't sound anything like David Bowie. It was just Motorhead. So to me, that's AC/DC in a nutshell. 100%.
How about Elvis? We haven't talked about Elvis yet.
Always. And it's not Christmas without Elvis.
There's so many songs to pick from him, some of which we've covered in the band. But I have to go. I mean, I think my favorite really is Blue Christmas. Yeah. It's just great. You know, it's I don't know. It's just I love the way he sings it. The bridge and everything about it. It's a great Elvis song.
The other one is the title eludes me right now, but the band Mud. Their Christmas song that they emulated Elvis. It's gonna kill me now. I was gonna pick it, but again, with all the Elvis. For those who don't know, we are Blaggards. We're from Houston, Texas. We're on the Whip and Backland Radio. We are so happy to be here this Christmas show. But what you don't know is we're all huge Elvis fans. And on our first record, we put Suspicious Minds, and on every song that we play, there's always like some kind of little nod to Elvis, and it's the funny thing is I heard my good friend David Lee Roth. Oops, he dropped a name. I heard my good friend David Lee Roth say one time that he would be on stage with Van Halen and he would sing in the vein of somebody or other, and he would look at the band like, "Hey, you get?" And they go, "What?" He goes, "Man, that sounds just like whoever, you know." And they go, "No," and he'd listen back and he'd go, "Oh yeah, it does." But in your head, so I do that. I do that all the time. I go, "That sounds like Elvis." No, it doesn't sound like. But in my head, it sounds like Elvis. And it always, you would just love to, if you had to, like Chad was saying about stealing Harry Nilsson's voice. You know, if I could sing like anybody, it would probably be, you know, Elvis and Lemmy and you know, just on and on and on. So, yeah, the amount of Elvis songs, Christmas songs, are just so, you know, there's so many. So again, I couldn't pick one. There's just so many, but I mean, Blue Christmas is
that's a great one.
No Sleigh with Reindeers, no Talking About You See Me Coming in a Big Black Play like, cause what was that one? Got no Sleigh with Reindeers, no
Santa Claus is back in town, right?
Is it?
Santa Claus is back in town. Yeah,
that sounds just like him.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Well,
so that would be
time, pretty baby.
that was my favorite.
Yeah,
at the beginning, but then they just get engulfed by even. And I don't like the song. I don't like Silent Night. I don't like it. But it's as Christmas as this hat. Yeah. But it's not. And for those not watching, I'm wearing a Christmas hat. But that song, Silent Night, his delivery. I mean, he's just, you can't, you know, and you have the Jordanaires backing him up singing. I mean, you just can't. You can't. You know, you can't. I don't think you can go through a Christmas season without it.
No,
I mean, you can try, but you know, you're
good luck.
Yeah, you're in jail.
Yeah.
So, and then you know, we talked about it earlier, and we've recorded it, but the Pogues with Kirsten McCall singing "Fairy Tale of New York," again, huge in Europe, still big over here. We play it over here. We play it sometimes year round, but that song we never leave a place without somebody commenting on that song. That song is, you know, and I love it. I still love it. I love the way that we're doing it now. I really love the way that we're doing it now. So you can look for a new recording of that coming up very soon. And that song, a lot of people will already know that the Pogues frontman Shane MacGowan, who we lost last year.
Mm-hmm.
Last year. Last year. He was born on Christmas Day.
Yep.
And he just one of the greatest Irish. I think Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy was the best Irish rocker of all times. You know, just end of story. Shane MacGowan, the best poet. You know, I again, this personal taste. I'm not trying to tell you what to believe, but you have to believe that. End of story. And Shane MacGowan, so prolific and so brilliant and so just that song is timeless. That song is Christmas. That song it's everything. I would point you towards John Bon Jovi's cover of it only if I didn't like you. Other than that, that's all I'm going to say.
It was much more worthwhile before they took the comments section down off the YouTube video.
But
that was the best thing about it.
On his version?
Yes.
Oh man. That's got to be archived somewhere.
I would, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Christmas lovers all over the world, I would listen to John Bon Jovi's, now correct me if I'm wrong here, John Bon Jovi's version first, and then listen to the Pogues. How would you do it? What order?
No, that's a great order.
What order?
Yeah, you laugh first, and
then you hear how it's done.
How it should be
Okay.
done. Yeah.
All right. So definitely. All right. So a little Christmas gift from us to you, John Bon Jovi's version of Fairy Tale of New York. and then the Pogues with Kirsten McCall singing. Yeah,
it's like, for Christmas you get the gag gift first, then you get the real gift.
So gag gift? Are you saying he's not any good? It's John Bon Jovi.
Well, that song. There's songs I do like from him.
Okay.
What's funny is that his version came out around the same time that ours did.
Okay, now you asked for it.
Yeah.
Now you asked for it. All right. So, can of worms. Consider it opened. So, yes, it did. So we recorded Fairy Tale of New York, and we released it. I say released it. We put it on a website. We were,
2020,
still,
right?
Yeah, still locked down, right?
Yeah.
And so we released it, and I kid you not, the day after we released it in the afternoon or the evening or whatever, the next day I wake up to an email from my mother. My mother is in Ireland, and I can't say, I would love to say on the radio what she said, but I can't say. I would be in jail what she said to me. My mother is this saintly woman in Ireland, and she's typed me a letter, and you should have read what she said. It was appalling. And I'm thinking, she heard our version. She hates it. She's going nuts. And she's effing and blinding me. What? I was like, is it that bad? Is ours that bad? It was John Bon Jovi's version that she heard. And she had, what the is going, she sent me this letter. It was phenomenal. So I'll put my mother's name and number in the comment, and you can call her and give it. No, but it was hysterical, because it was that moment of how could your own mother, assault you like this and it turns out it was John Bon Jovi's version of the song that we had just recorded. And we didn't know that he didn't call us. He didn't do,
Yeah,
no text.
David Lee Roth would call me if he did, but no, he didn't. So he wrote he released his song, and I'm hearing these comments coming in from people, because ours is at the same time. Ours is on YouTube. It's not a video, it's just the song, but it's up on YouTube and Pandora and all, Spotify, all these, and I'm hearing all these, and it's coming in. I was like, oh my God, we got to get rid of this. This is anyway. Turns out it wasn't. So
did she think it was yours?
No. She heard that. She heard his version
that...
and didn't know about ours. She hadn't got ours yet, so I hadn't listened to it yet. So I'm hearing all these reviews thinking that we just released a dog. Yeah, a dog with rabies in one leg, and so.
Wow.
Yeah.
The thing that's amazing about his covers, that we were just talking about, Shane MacGowan, the greatest poet, especially one of the greatest lyricists, the most poetic lyricist that ever lived. John Bon Jovi, not only did he decide he needed to cover this song, but he actually decided to rewrite some of the words.
What?
He rewrote the words.
He rewrote the there is a part of the song where they switched out the lyrics to not be so offensive, and I mean,
he changed more than he needed to.
He redid the whole scene.
Yeah.
It was like taking a movie and taking a whole scene out of it and putting in your own animated,
because
skit.
Even the Pogues have a radio-friendly version of the song, and it's not anywhere near as. He could have just sung that. I don't get it.
I don't know. I think we've already spent too much time, wasted too much.
We have
of these wonderful people's time.
Yeah, we have anybody else. Lori, cut this part.
Who?
Yeah. So we're gonna say, is there anything else to?
I think I'm at the bottom of the barrel now.
Yeah, so there's a million more wonderful songs. Like I say, if you hear Mariah Carey this year and you're enjoying it too much, that is us, and we just didn't get any credit for it because we put too much time into it. Also, we're traveling to Ireland as we do every year in October. If you would like to join us, blaggards.com/Ireland. We have blaggards.com. We have merchandise. We have all kinds of stuff we've got. But we'd love to see you when we get back in your neck of the woods. And this has been a thrill to do this at this Christmas time. Let me say to all of you, have a very, very happy Christmas and
Merry New Year.
Happy Christmas.
Yeah.
Happy Christmas, y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers.